Listen up, champions, because today we're diving deep into the most powerful 3 words that will transform your life forever. But before we begin this journey together, I need you to hit that subscribe button right now, ring that notification bell, and promise me you'll watch every single second of this video, because what I'm about to share with you will shake you to your core and ignite a fire in your soul that will never be extinguished. Eric Thomas says that success isn't just about what you know. It's about what you do when nobody's watching, when the lights are off, when the world has counted you out. And that's when you must declare with everything in your being, I can, I will, I must. Eric Thomas teaches us that these 3 words aren't just a mantra. They're a declaration of war against mediocrity, against excuses, against every voice in your head that whispers you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not worthy enough. Because Eric Thomas reminds us that greatness isn't reserved for the chosen few. It's available to anyone who's willing to pay the price. I can, I will, I must means that when life hits you with a left hook and knocks you down, you don't stay down. You don't stay down. You get back up and say obstacle. Eric Thomas says that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. So when you're going through hell, you keep going, because on the other side of your pain is your purpose. On the other side of your struggle is your strength. On the other side of your test is your testimony. I can, I will, I must is what you scream when the alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m. and your body wants to stay in bed. But Eric Thomas teaches us that champions are made in the dark. In those moments when nobody's applauding, when nobody's cheering, when it's just you versus your excuses. Eric Thomas reminds us that you can't cheat the grind. You can't skip steps. You can't microwave success. Because success is a process, not an event. And every single day you must wake up and declare, I can, I will, I must. When people ask you why you're working so hard, why you're sacrificing your weekends, why you're saying no to parties and yes to preparation, Eric Thomas says you tell them because mediocrity is not an option. Because average is the enemy of great. Because I can, I will, I must is not just what I say, it's who I am. Eric Thomas teaches us that your why has to make you cry, because when your why is strong enough, the how will show up. When your desire burns hot enough, obstacles become opportunities. When your commitment runs deep enough, impossibilities become inevitabilities. I can, I will, I must means you stop making excuses and start making moves. You stop talking about what you're going to do and start doing what you said you would do. Eric Thomas reminds us that execution is everything, because a mediocre plan executed is better than a brilliant plan that's never implemented. So stop planning to plan and start executing. Start grinding. Start becoming the person your dreams require you to be. When you declare I can, you're acknowledging that you have the power, the ability, the potential locked inside you waiting to be unleashed. Eric Thomas says that greatness is already within you. You just have to be willing to dig deep enough to find it. When you declare I will, you're making a commitment. You're drawing a line in the sand. You're saying that failure is not an option. That quitting is not in your vocabulary. That Eric Thomas teaches us champions find a way or make a way. When you declare I must, you're operating from a place of necessity, not desire. Eric Thomas reminds us that when you must do something, when your back is against the wall, when you have no choice but to succeed, that's when miracles happen. That's when ordinary people do extraordinary things. I can, I will, I must is what you repeat when you're running that extra mile and your lungs are burning when you're studying for that exam and your eyes are heavy when you're building that business and the rejections keep coming. Eric Thomas says that champions don't become champions in the ring. They become champions in training, in preparation. In those moments when they choose to do what they do and feel like doing, because they know that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. Eric Thomas teaches us that your grind today determines your glory tomorrow. So every rep you do, every page you read, every call you make, every risk you take is an investment in your future self. I can, I will, I must means you stop waiting for permission. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop waiting for someone else to believe in you, because Eric Thomas reminds us that the only person who can stop you is you. When obstacles show up in your life, and they will show up, Eric Thomas says you don't go around them. You don't go under them. You go through them because obstacles are not roadblocks. They're stepping stones to your greatness. I can. I will. I must is your battle cry. When fear tries to paralyze you, when doubt tries to discourage you, when haters try to distract you from your destiny. Eric Thomas teaches us that fear has two meanings: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And champions choose to face everything and rise because they know that courage is in the absence of fear. It's action in spite of fear. When you're tired, when you're exhausted, when you feel like you can't take another step, Eric Thomas reminds us that that's exactly when you need to take 10 more steps because your breakthrough is on the other side of your breakdown. I can, I will, I must means you become comfortable being uncomfortable because Eric Thomas says growth happens outside your comfort zone. Success happens outside your comfort zone. Greatness happens outside your comfort zone. You want to know the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. Eric Thomas teaches us it's not talent, it's not luck, it's not who you know it, it's your willingness to do what others won't do so you can have what others won't have. I can, I will, I must is what separates the champions from the chumps, the winners from the whiners, the legends from the leftovers. Eric Thomas reminds us that pain is weakness leaving the body, struggle is strength entering the soul. And every challenge you face is God's way of asking you if you really want what you say you want. When people count you out, when they say you'll never make it, when they doubt your dreams, Eric Thomas says you use their doubt as fuel. You use their negativity as motivation. You use their disbelief as determination to prove them wrong. I can. I will. I must means you stop living below your potential. You stop settling for less than you deserve. You stop accepting average when you were born for greatness. Eric Thomas teaches us that success is a process, not an event, so every single day you must show up. You must grind. You must execute because consistency beats talent when talent doesn't work consistently. When you want to quit, when you want to give up, when you want to throw in the towel, Eric Thomas reminds us that's exactly when you need to press harder. Push further, dig deeper because quitters never win and winners never quit. I can, I will, I must is your reminder that you are more powerful than your circumstances. You are stronger than your struggles. You are greater than your challenges. Eric Thomas says that champions are not made in comfort. They're forged in fire. They're molded through adversity. They're shaped through struggle because diamonds are created under pressure. When you feel like you're not making progress, when you feel like you're moving too slow, Eric Thomas teaches us that slow progress is still progress. And as long as you don't quit, as long as you keep moving, as long as you keep grinding, you will get there. I can. I will. I must means you stop making excuses and start making history. You stop being a victim and start being a victor. You stop being a follower and start being a leader. Eric Thomas reminds us that your past doesn't determine your future unless you let it. So stop looking in the rearview mirror and start focusing on the windshield because where you're going is more important than where you've been. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And Eric Thomas says that champions thrive under pressure because pressure either bursts pipes or creates diamonds. And you were born to be a diamond. I can, I will. I must is your daily declaration that you refuse to be denied. You refuse to be defeated. You refuse to be deterred from your destiny. Eric Thomas teaches us that success isn't just about reaching your goals. It's about who you become in the process of reaching them. So embrace the journey, love the grind, celebrate the struggle, because it's making you into the champion you were born to be. When you declare I can, I will, I must, you're not just speaking words. You're speaking life into your dreams, you're breathing fire into your passion, you're injecting power into your purpose. Eric Thomas reminds us that this is your time, this is your moment, this is your opportunity to show the world what you're made of. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop procrastinating, and start dominating. Champions, remember that I can, I will, I must isn't just a saying, it's a lifestyle. It's a mindset. It's a choice you make every single day to be great. And as Eric Thomas says, when you change your mindset, you change your life.